Here, this is part two. Um, Basically, these carts, you can see my son, he's got his Lego on there and he's using the light to build his Batmobile, and he's got all his Lego instructions and all that. So it's like a workbench. That's really what it is. And over here, his sisters are building Lego and I'm studying for a test. And we've got the 031 radius loop. They plug it in and they drive their train around, or they hit the punching bag, or we push all this stuff out of the way, and under there is, beside the dollhouse, is the inflatable castle. So this room is a multi-purpose room, like a den, you know, for lack of a better term. And it's kind of like things have to be able to be taken out, used, and put away when they get bored or they're doing something different. Like if they're watching a movie, we can push things out of the way. All these are on wheels. Okay, so that being said, I don't know if the IKEA Linamon tables, being 2 feet wide, are going to be wide enough. I know they're going to be wide enough for 2 tracks. But what I would really like, because I have 4 kids and actually a 5th kid on the way, it's coming in July or August, is at least 4 tracks, and to model the New Haven, the commuting operations around New York. So I've only ever modeled N scale or HO. In HO, I was Canadian Pacific and Sioux Line. In N scale, I had Canadian Pacific for a long time, and now I'm Milwaukee Road, Northern Pacific, Union Pacific. And I thought for a while, okay, well, I'm just going to buy a bunch of Union Pacific stuff. And then I stopped myself and I said, okay, I could, but I love other railroads. This is an opportunity. What would be my 4th pick or 5th pick? And after kind of, looking at a list of things that I like, I've always wanted to run some GG1s, Pennsylvania electric. I love electric lines. I like the stuff that's in Europe, but going over to Germany at a previous job, that was a wonderful experience to go on the Intercity Express, the ICE, and everything that they have there, 300 kilometers an hour. So I'm doing 1947 to 1954, 55 roughly on the N scale. I'm thinking let's crank this up to 1965, give or take, and up. Maybe Penn Central's happened, maybe it hasn't. I like New York Central stuff. I like Pennsylvania stuff. I like New Haven stuff. But not as new as Conrail. Not because I don't like Conrail, but it's because of the older vehicles. The 60s is something that I could get behind. 60-foot auto parts boxcars, 86-foot stuff in the late 60s or 70s. The rolling stock and the paint scheme, like the McGuinness paint scheme here, this is 1954, I think, and up. Something different. Now, that being said, I have a Union Pacific set here. That's here because it was under $19. I have this guy here. I don't know if this is going to stay, but price was right. We'll get some mileage out of it and then pass it on for somebody else to enjoy. That was 27 bucks. It can probably go. And once I'm able to acquire some more, Hudson is the name of my oldest son. He wants a Hudson. New York Central does a Hudson very well, but they're just a little bit more money. So if we take some of these things that I purchased for rock bottom prices, flip them into Pennsylvania, which is what my 7-year-old daughter wants. They have pink Pennsylvania. Try and say that 3 times fast. Girls trains, they're pink. Dad, I want a pink locomotive. Okay, well, Lionel has that. MTH has that. So what's going to happen is there's going to be some Lionel track acquired or MTH track. Real tracks like the plastic roadbed, the same as the Cato. I like that. That's going to get, glued down on these IKEA boards or some other kind of wood if I need to be a little wider. And then these will get stowed when I'm not working on them. And then the Lionel can sit up here. And what I'm thinking is phase 2 is instead of just having a 4x8, which we can ditch, reuse the track, of course, we can keep building these carts and go all the way around the room. And when we want to watch TV, watch a movie, just unclick them, roll them out of the way. When we want to run N scale, swap the tabletops. And there's no wood being purchased, no more bench work other than I'm going to need additional tables. I'm going to have to do something bigger than an IKEA Linimon for the corner, so those are going to have to be out of plywood. I have no problem with that. But I've got these overbuilt carts. If I want to take the Lionel or the old gauge to a show in the future, I can. I have a rack in a trailer that I built with carpet, and these IKEA Linimons slide on this rack. Now, I'm going to be getting rid of that trailer because it only stows 10, and I'm far past that for movable modules. But if I build myself a rack in my utility room, I can take these if I want to stow them and put that in the rack. I love those modular tables. They're the best. So I've got a plan for the Helix. I want to show you. Let's take you over. This is the scenery that I got done with the static grass machine. And I got a guy fixing the signals, or there is no signal yet, but yeah, this is on top of the grout, and I just put down 3 different colors of static grass so you can kind of see what they are. Kind of a tan static grass, a dark green, and yellow. Maybe there's 4 colors, I'm not sure, but I just did it and kept emptying the machine and putting new stuff in. But it's key to have these weeds essentially glued down, and I'm really happy with the result. It looks fantastic in real life. Over here, what's going to happen is I got to pick up 2 more of these and some 2x2s and make a swing down unit, because right now this is just kind of overhanging, loose, floppy, and then that will come up, maybe have a gas strut on it, something like that, and then that will be, this will be based on the same size cart with the flip up portion, the base for the Helix. And then when that's done, that's not very expensive, but the track will be, I'll pick up a bunch of V16 sets and this Helix will work exactly as intended. We're hoping, that's the hope. So up here in the corner, it only has to go from here to there, and then we will be fully connected. We're connected into the room over here. So either way, what I can tell you is, other than studying for my test, I've got a lot of things going on. If you haven't, you should subscribe. If you like watching Lionel, MTH, if you like N scale, whatever the reason, but there's going to be a little bit of more variety. But I am absolutely a train guy through and through, and you know, having this channel, to me, it's good for me to document, have basically where I'm at on things, and I know sometime we'll look at this table and say, oh man, look at the weird small start that you started with. But these carts, this is kind of like a studio now. We've got Lego, we've got N scale, we've got O gauge, we've got doll houses. So, all right, you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.